and picked it up, and one of the county commissioners at that time took a low boy down for us and hauled it back, so because it will only run 52 miles an hour. The reason why we do have the Humvee, we kept having a bunch of parties. We kept having a bunch of crime committing on the Arkansas River, up by the Ralston area, Speedy area, Blackburn area, and I felt it was unsafe for the deputies. I hear them go out on the radio and walk. They'd have to walk half a mile down to the scene. I went and I talked to another county. Actually, I borrowed theirs first, and it got us access everywhere we needed to go. So I did the paperwork, and we ended up purchasing one for $800. And it don't get used very much. It don't get drove that much. But when we do use it, it's in water that comes up to the seat, mud up to the mirrors. So it has paid for itself. We do have four-wheel drive pickups now, 2 of them. My intentions are at least getting 2 more, but they still would make it down in here because we're talking, deep stuff, ruts and stuff. So that is the purpose of the Humvee. Okay, thank you.
Mike, somebody else asked a question about out of all arrests, how many are made by our deputies and not the Oklahoma Highway Patrol, transports, and other agencies?
All right. In 2015, Pawnee County Sheriff's Office, the deputies alone put in 632 people. For that year, in 2015, there was 1,142 inmates that come through the jail. Just this year, 2016, we've already got 278 people from the ECSO side. Pawnee PD, room 77. Cleveland PD runs 36, and the Highway Patrol 27. So yes, we do make arrests.
Okay. One other incident that one of our citizens would like to express, and maybe you can remember the event. Why, when the deputy was called for a drunk driver, 2 deputies showed up. They put the man in a car with a deputy, and the other deputy drove the man's truck home. Said they didn't want to do the paperwork.
I don't recall what you're talking about. We have arrested people out on the side of the roads for DUIs and stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, get one impounded right now. I know the record services, they're going to get pissed off, but if they're close to home and if it's not involving the crime, I'm going to let, we're going to find a way to get it there to help the citizens because it's costly.
And how does that help the citizens as a record owner? How does letting a drunk driver off of a crime by not impounding the vehicle, what's that teach you?
Well, number one, he's going to jail, so he is being arrested.
Okay.
And, if
They
we're...
arrested. They drove him home.
Who drove him home?
The deputy.
Well, like I said, I'm not
The
familiar with
deputy
that.
drove his truck home.
Well, that's...
I'm not that concerned as an owner of a company in Pawnee County. When a deputy doesn't do his job by impounding the vehicle, that's a problem.
Well, there's, what am I going to use the word here? Officer discretion on that.
On an impound.
On an impound, if it's feasible. Now, if it's involving a wreck or a stolen or something like that, that's part of it.
Deputies that I don't want the officer discretion. Every other agency that I impound for, when they arrest for DUI, they impound vehicles.
Well, that's
You're the
officer
only
discretion.
agency that allows your deputies to make a decision whether or not to impound a vehicle or not.
Are you mad because you're not getting no money out of it?
I can agree with that. I used to over.
Am I mad?
No.
Yeah, I'm mad.
How about if it was you out there and you were close to home and they gave you a break?
I'm
I
happy.
don't want to give me a break if somebody arrested for DUI.
Sounds like this is a specific issue that needs to be addressed on a one-to-one basis, but maybe there are some
The
policy.
issue needed to be addressed was the question, how come instead of arresting a drunk driver, the deputies would put the man in their vehicle and take instead of arresting for being drunk?
Okay, first thing, I wasn't there, so I can't give you why the actions that they did. I don't know. I'm sure there was a situation, if that did happen, there had to be a reason for that.
They said they didn't want to do the paperwork.
Mike, real quick, does county accept responsibility?
I can't hear you, Bob.
Does the county accept responsibility and liability for driving somebody's vehicle?
Ah, yes,
So if you
Yes.
guys drive their vehicle, you are under the county's umbrella?
yes, yes, if they're in control of it.
And is that part of the policy that is open to the public, I guess?
I,
That policy would be open to the public, just to see that rider, that you can drive somebody's vehicle home?
well, if the deputies can't, and when we say driving it home, whenever I make that statement, I'm talking short distance right here. I'm not talking about taking it to Sand Springs or Stillwater or OG&E. No, nothing like that. I'm talking, if we stop, I've done it. If I stop somebody and they're within a half a mile of their home and, I've had deputy transport the DUI person to jail, I have drove the vehicle to their house, put the keys, and I have walked back. Does that happen all the time? No. 20 years, I can think of 2 to 3 times. So, we're not talking every day, every week, every month, like you all are saying.
So it just
That
depends
doesn't
on
happen.
who you are then.
Do what, ma'am?
So it depends on who you are.
Officer discretion,
So
yes,
if
ma'am.
you're buddies with the officer, your car's getting taken and you don't have to pay
I don't
anything.
think that being buddies with the officer has anything to do with that. It's the officer. It's the officer. I don't think the buddy thing had anything to do with it.
One of the issues that was brought up here was if a car has to be, a person has to be arrested and their vehicle is left on the highway, then you would call a tow truck to move it?
99.9% of the time, yes.
Who would pay for the tow truck?
The tow truck would be the driver of the vehicle. Be it alone.
The owner is required to pay for it.
Yes.
Sheriff's office doesn't pay for it, to go get it.
I should have introduced our emergency manager too.
Okay. Everybody knows now.
Mike, one more hot seat question.
All right.
Has to do with Roger Price and his role in Pawnee County Sheriff's Office.
Roger Price, he is our firearms instructor. He is our K-9 trainer. So, he's a training officer for the firearms for Pawnee County.
How is he commissioned, Mike?
Do what?
How is he commissioned?
He's a reserve. He's commissioned under the reserve and still licensed to the fleet.
And he can't handle the dog.
Do what, ma'am?
And he cannot handle the dog.
Oh, no, ma'am. He can handle it, but he's not out. He's not full-time. He's not on the road. Matter of fact, he is the one taking care of the dog right now because he's the only one that can look her and feed the dog and so forth. He keeps it trained. He keeps it in tune. So, and does not cost the county a penny to do that.
Here's a generic question for all three of you. Given this day and age of internet information, what, if any, negative issues reside in your closet? What would we find if we did a search?
I made it a point to make sure. I made it a point to make sure that the things that might be a hard, that might raise questions, were never removed from the public. I've left them there on purpose because, number one, I acted appropriately. Darla Brandon would probably be the issue that would come up. And there will be those that don't like me to say I arrested her falsely because, number one, I was charged with it. And I was charged with assault and battery for putting on handcuffs on her. I don't know how you arrest someone without putting on handcuffs. But a federal court decided that I acted very appropriately and within the measure of force that was needed to get the job done. So all of this I've left available on the internet for you to search and find.
Search my name on Google. About the only thing that I know of that come up on there is from when my father got killed 4 years ago. There are several stories there. Other than that, I don't know of anything else that would be out there.
I don't recall anything right at the moment. I never really searched myself. I had to come out and do what? Certainly no good news. I can answer the question. I don't recall of anything.
There's probably.
Got a divorce. That counts. 23 years. She done my ass for it. Excuse my language, sorry. Still a sore subject there. And she was an excellent housekeeper. She kept everything.
We've had already sort of addressed this issue in Philadelphia, but somebody asked about Pawnee County responding to calls of people about reckless driving through the neighborhood. And this person has sent 3 emails to the sheriff's office about the same thing. Do you remember receiving 3 emails about reckless
I
driving?
remember receiving 2 of them. And I did give that to my undersheriff. It went to the major, and they are looking into that.
And I sent you another one today, and
Oh, I have not got that one.
nothing's been done.
There hasn't been.
And no, and we call like 2 to 3 times a week over this kid. And something's got to be done with him.
Is that the kid on the full
He
video?
has been out twice to talk to him.
Which neighborhood are you?
Killingdale?
Well, of course it's Ponderosa because we got the back black mark on our name. But yeah, I mean, this kid who's like 19, 20, 21 years old, we installed speed bumps around neighbors that wanted them because of it. Well, now they're just going over the speed bumps as fast as they can, and they're going in neighbors' yards where there's kids playing. Somebody's kid is gonna get killed, and I can't get anything done.
Well, like I said, I did receive your emails. I did pass that to my undersheriff. I was actually at the Capitol when I got the first email on that.
Yeah, I sent one on like the 27th, another one on the 2nd, and another one today.
It is being looked into.
So how can we get you guys to come out when this happens? Because we're calling all the time, and different neighbors are calling. And very rarely do we see one of the sheriff's deputies out. What time? And how many times? I mean, you can't just patrol this. All I know is it's still.
So this is an important issue of safety in neighborhoods, and it's not a private neighborhood, so it's part of the streets that are cared for by the county. First of all, Mike, do you want to make any more comments about this?
Well, I mean, just like I advised her, we are looking into that.
She wants something more than looking at.
And I understand that.
Yeah,
And
where somebody's kid gets killed.
and I understand that, I understand that. But like I said, whenever, we get a call, like I said, we have 2 deputies on it at a time. So,
I understand.
and there, I know just in the last 2 weeks, we've had 3 molestations. Well, that's,
I understand that too, but is a child's life not a priority?
no, it is. I agree. It's
Because
very
this
important.
kid, I'm serious, you live there, Lisa's been there, and this kid just goes crazy.
Has anybody talked with the parents?
The parents
The parents tell you, don't blow your head off if you come up there and try to talk to them.
You can't talk to the parents at all. And then the parents do the same thing.
And then when you call Pawnee County because they just threatened you with a gun, nobody shows up.
It's like the Ponderosa, and I know we have our crackheads, okay?
Every place does. Every place.
And, you guys did a great job rounding them up when you did, but everybody's out, and everybody's back to the same track.
Mr. Moore, would you like to address this?
I would love to address the issue. I understand that you're angry, and trust me, I'm a whole lot angry with the sheriff's office too. I'm running because there's a lot of people who are angry with the sheriff's office. As a deputy, I patrolled Little Ponderosa. I went out there and just drove around ever so slowly. Being seen sometimes makes all the difference in the world. And this is what I've been preaching from the time I put my name in to run for sheriff. I want to get out there as your sheriff and be also seen out here. Right now, as bad of a problem as you've been having, as many emails as you've sent, if I were the sitting sheriff, I'd be out there. I I wouldn't even be sending it to my undersheriff or handing it down to the major. I'd be out there.
That's what
Because somebody has to make a difference. But I'd also be drilling into my deputies that you don't have to worry about getting out there and getting in trouble because you did the right thing. Because if you go out there and do what you were supposed to do, I'm going to back you up.
And the neighbors are gonna back you up also, because they're tired of it.
Mr. Barnett, you wanted to say anything to this?
I think I know the kid that you're talking about. Pretty sure I do. There was one night in particular, I come around the curve right there, right down here at the T intersection, and there's 3 4-wheelers right in the road. One of which had lights on. All 3 of them full accelerator and they were gone. Darting off into the grass, and as soon as they got in the dark, they shut it off. Part of that's because I've actually talked to those kids and told them, if I catch it on the road, the last thing you will see of it is it goes down the road on the back of the wrecker. They know that they will get impounded if they get caught. That's why they run so much. And they're quick to run from us because they know they're a lot more agile on that 4-wheeler than what we are in a Crown Vic or a Charger, or Tahoe, or a truck. But you're right, it is a safety issue.
I mean,
It's a parental issue as
Plain and
well.
simple about that.
Do I?
If you witness that person on the road and you relent your position to not go arrest that kid or to pick up that 4-wheeler because you know where that kid lives, go to that person's house and wait on that kid to get there, take that 4-wheeler right then.
You actually talked
Plain
to
and simple. There's
I talked to the
ifs,
kid.
ands, or buts about it.
When I talked to the kid, he was sitting in his yard on it. And I told him, if I catch it on the road, I'm going to impound it.
Sure did, I saw it on the road.
And I went to sit for a while and waited because I thought as soon as I leave, he's going to get out and do it. Never once left his driveway. I would get calls about it. By the time I get back over there, he'd be gone.
he's got a motorcycle, they have a pickup, there's a lawn car, there's another car, and it's all 4 of their cars.
Can we do a citizen's arrest in Hellendale? And on 4-wheeler?
No.
So our only recourse is to continue to watch our streets being destroyed. I have almost killed one kid twice. Everybody else has almost killed the
That
same
is
kid.
actually incorrect. Hilldale is private property. So if you catch a kid in your yard on a 4-wheeler, you yank his little narrow butt off of it.
Not in my yard,
Well-
in my street.
Okay, well, the homeowners association should have control of that street.
Okay, we're the homeowners association.
So-
What can we
So if
do?
you get that kid off of that, okay, you can do what's called a private property impound by the state. If you're the legal possessor of that property, homeowner, street, homeowner association, you can do a private property impound. You call a record service, they come get that vehicle, and then the owner of that vehicle is required to pay for the tow.
So if the parents pay their dues in Hillendale, are they also considered to be partial owners of that street?
They are. They are. If they're a dues paying member, then they're part of your association, and that's a private road, which they would be a part of if they're paying dues.
Guys, I'm running for sheriff. I want your vote, but I have to contradict here. While you may be giving something that may be partially right, you're getting into an area of civil advice, and I don't know about you, but I'm not qualified to give you civil advice, and I would highly recommend before you act on that you talk to someone who is licensed and qualified to give you civil advice. But as far as addressing the 4-wheelers on those roads, they are private roads. There is currently no law that allows us to do that. It was mentioned that Ms. McCasey may try to present a bill. I don't know. If there is a bill, if there ever becomes a law that gives us an opportunity to act on that, I'm convinced that I will, and I'm certain that Darren will, and probably Mike will too.
The alternative to this problem, the alternative to this situation is giving up the Hillendale private roads and making them county roads, which would mean 5.5 miles of roads going into the Pawnee County budget where there are no funds to do anything with them.
I see that.
So what we have is a situation that's going to result in a kid getting killed. It's
Well,
been going on for
let me
3
ask you a
years.
question while we're addressing that situation, and Mike is correct. I hate to ever come up here running for sheriff and have to agree with the other candidates running against me, but he is correct that we have no authority in law enforcement to do that. But here's my question to you. What rules do you have in place in the homeowners association? Can you force them to move out because of this problem?
No, we have no teeth. This is from 1974. We have no teeth.
Well, rest assured, I want to help you. I'm sure the other candidates that I'm running against also want to help you in this situation. But we have no teeth either there.
One last question from Ponderosa.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're talking about doing something, and there's not a lot you can do, anybody can do, unless you see it happen. What if I throw stocks in the south? What's that gonna do to me? If I throw a strap of leather out there with nails in it, what's that gonna do to me? Because obviously we can't ever get slow down, and we have to see it.
Okay, here's the deal. If they're on a public road, if they're on a public road, the better thing for you to do would be to bring a deputy out there. You can actually sign the ticket. They don't like to do that, but you can actually sign the ticket because you saw it. And if that's the only opportunity you got, I'd give you that. Now, what will the judge do with it when it gets to court? Maybe throw it out. I don't know. But I'd certainly give you that opportunity to write the ticket and say, you signed it because you saw it. And you're basically telling the judge, I saw this. It's kind of like a citizen's arrest. But rather than you have to do that, once again, as sheriff, I'd even be out there sitting and waiting for this to happen, because tell me, how long could I possibly sit until I actually saw it? Tell me, how long could I actually have to sit before I would actually see it myself? You see my point. As sheriff, I will be out there.
An hour. I mean,
As sheriff, I'll be out there.
County Commissioner Carter has a comment on this issue, and then we want to move on.
That has been private property, Gillendale, Little Ponderosa, the other areas we have around here. I do have a different attorney's opinion. It does state exactly what these gentlemen are saying. The district attorney said they do not have any authority on private property inside there to arrest anyone that's out of a four-wheeler or doing any.
Now they have to get out on Keystone Road.
It is not a county road. They have no authority.
Does that include theft?
Pardon?
Theft?
No, that does not apply to theft.
No, on the road, if they're four-wheelers on your road, in your association, doing wheelies or whatever they're doing, I would suggest calling the highway patrol and tell them they're disturbing the peace out there with you guys driving around, and maybe they'll come out and at least arrest them for some reason. I don't know what the laws are, but I do have a district attorney's opinion telling these gentlemen they cannot go into that private property to arrest people.
But the highway patrol can.
Apparently they can. Even if you have a parking lot, if you have an incident in a parking lot at Kmart, Walmart, or someplace, they come out there, there's no tickets issued or anything if you have an offender unless their property, serious damage. And it's just one of the, they quote it, and if anyone would like to have that opinion, they call me on the phone. My number is 918-358-2812. I'll be happy to mail it to you.
Okay, thank you very much. I want to go back to this hidden issues in the closet. And one of the persons brought this issue up for Mr. Moore particularly. Court records show that in 2014, you were in civil court for delinquent taxes. The question is, has this judgment been settled up to the state? If not, will the Pawnee County Sheriff's Department be required to garnish your wages?
I have already paid all of the back taxes that were due.
And should you be elected sheriff, will your office be run like you choose to run your business?
Well, once again, that became an issue because I didn't put nearly the time into the business that I put into the people, because I told my wife when she wanted to start the business, the people that I'm working for out here in the county absolutely come first. And that's where the bulk of my time was spent. And should I be elected sheriff, that's still where the bulk of my time will be spent, out here working for the people.
Okay, thank you. One of the issues that I want to address to all three of you has to do with trash on the roads. As you know, the peninsula area has about 2 times a year pick up trash. But of course, the next day, we're back to trash. When people dump their vans, their furniture out on the road, it would be on the county roads now, not on the highways, making illegal trash dumping. If someone calls into you with a license tag that they witnessed illegal dumping, how would you follow up on this? Mr. Barnell, do you have try to do it?
Number one, make sure that the tag information that they gave matches the vehicle description they're giving. You know, if they tell you it's a white Chevy half ton and that tag comes back to a Ford Taurus, you know there's problems somewhere. But start with running that tag, get the name and address, go look at the dump site, get good pictures of that, then go to the house of whoever belongs to that. I've dealt with that before and given them 2 options. You can either clean it up and dispose of it properly, or you can wind up getting fined and then go clean it up.
Hey, Mr. Waters, how do you deal with this now?
Basically, Mr. Barnell's correct on that. I mean, that's what, we do now, and we do have trash dumps. We do work good with the county. If we can't find an owner, if we can't find a name, so forth, the county has come out and we've used, backhoe, the tractor, loaded the dump truck, and they've assisted us on that.
Can you get prisoners to clean it up?
Yes, we have used them before on that. Whenever the city of Pawnee has their big cleanup, citywide or whatever, they, the prisoners, the trustees will actually go down and man the box, the dumpsters, and they'll keep everything smashed down while everybody else is thrown in. So that's a yearly deal there.
I've worked numerous calls like that, and a tag number given to you is just one of many pieces of evidence that you can gather. In the past, I have followed the procedures that have given to me, just like Darren Barnell said. However, my personal sentiment is, if I take the time and the effort and the resources to prove that they went out there and they dumped that illegally, I really wouldn't be in favor of giving them the option to come clean it up without a citation. I'd cite them and I'd let them know in so many days I'm going to cite them again if it isn't cleaned up. The law is there to enforce, and there's too many options to get rid of that rather than going out there and dumping it in public land. That's something that we shouldn't be putting up with.
An issue that was in the state legislature this year, particularly relevant to the larger counties, but I think still relevant to Pawnee County, has to do with policies on hiring appraisers for the sale of seized property. One of the issues was that some places, sheriff will hire a relative to go out and make an appraisal, and then they will get paid for doing that. Mike, do you have a policy, is this an issue for Pawnee County? Do you have a policy regarding hiring an appraiser for property that you want to sell?
You mean as far as me being related to them? Is that what you're...
Well, the issue is that in some counties, the sheriff hires a relative.
Yes, and that's stemming from Tulsa counties where that's stemming from. Dennis knows exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, one person, so they're trying to make all of us suffer. No, I am not related to any of the appraisers. To me, that would be a conflict. And we do have a line of appraisers that we do use, and still, I think we've used them for several years.
Do either of the other want to comment on this issue?
Pretty much just like you said, you want to make sure you have appraisers that are not in any way associated with you.
Well, to wrap this up, there are 3 questions that are basically the same. What are your 3 top priorities for the next 4 years? Mr. Moore, you want to start, or we'll just go down the line?
Top priority, number 1, is more patrol in your neighborhoods because you're not getting nearly enough of it. These issues you're talking about, more patrol would probably undoubtedly address that. They'd also address the multiple issues of property crime. If we're out there and we're patrolling the neighborhood, you're going to see less and less of that on a regular basis. You'll still see it. I know we can't be everywhere at once, but more patrol is going to help. Number two, we've got to bring back the drug task force. It absolutely was a valuable thing. It made a difference. Not just the drug task force, but we got to get a handler back for the dog. That's a very valuable dog and a well-trained dog. We need to get a handler that can handle the dog, that can also work drug interdiction. If we're going to do DUI arrest, and I believe we should, I don't see turning them loose and letting them keep the car. That's impounding that vehicle. I'll make sure there's a policy in place that you will impound that vehicle every time. Because if they weren't driving drunk, it wouldn't have got impounded anyways. I'm going to bring back the reserve program. We have to have a reserve program or I will not be able to do the other things that I'm wanting to do. That 12-hour shift covering 24 hours a day, we have to have that, and it'll take the sheriff, the undersheriff, and the reserves all working together to make that fit, to make it work. And above all, I'm absolutely not going to say I can't. When we say I can't, we've given up. If I run out of available options, I'm going to be out here talking to you guys. And I should be on a regular basis anyhow, because guess what? Even though I've got great ideas, someone sitting out here might have an idea that's just as good or better than I've got. And if I don't talk to you, I'll never know. The bottom line is, I'm running for sheriff in Pawnee County, and it's you, the people, that I'm asking to elect me and put me in there. And it's you, the people, that I need to be working for, and I will.
Thank you. Mr. Larnell, what would be your top priorities?
I think first and foremost would be to hire, and not only hire, but retain good quality employees that will get out here and patrol and fight the DUI and the drug problem. Personnel is a big issue. If you get good people, get them to, retain them where they'll stick around, get those guys trained to do the various activities, DUI patrols, drug interdiction, things of that nature. It combats a lot of your other problems. Secondly, is try to, seek grants and find ways to generate money to increase the salaries, add another deputy or two to lighten the load on everybody. Probably the third, and by far maybe one of the most important, is to start working more with kids. Tomorrow's criminals are today's kids. I mean, my daughter just graduated from Cleveland High School. It's ungodly how much dope is running around in that school. They're not the least bit bashful about it. The school, however, doesn't seem to want to call and say, hey, we've got a problem. Getting things like the DARE program going. I've been talking to some guys about trying to get started and getting information on doing an Explorer program where that we can bring some of those teenage kids in and let them see what we do to kind of steer them in the right direction so that hopefully they don't turn into the next drug dealer.
Thank you. Mr. Waters, what's the future in your mind?
Well, number one and number two kind of run together. Number one priority is the safety of my employees, no matter what. I want to make sure they can go home to their family daily. I'm talking deputies in the field, in the jail. Number two, safety to the citizens. That's, I'm still running on the logo dedicated to the citizens. Number three, keeping the doors open for the Pawnee County Sheriff's Office. That is a full-time job. Funding. Yes, I would love to go out and work every day in the field. Ladies and gentlemen, I do a lot of meetings trying to get money, I talk to Mr. Carter and Mr. McCormick all the time about money. That's where it's at. So keeping them doors open, that is a priority for me. I do feel a little bit assured. I've been pinching pennies, and right now we do have enough in an emergency contingency fund that I can operate the Pawnee County Sheriff's Office for 1 year without any taxpayer money coming in. So, that is a plus right there. I know there's other places I could use that money, but when that money's gone, it's gone. I do want to get the drug task force. That is a priority. I just got to find somebody that can do it, that will fit right, and put that back in play. So, number one is safety. Number two is the county. Number three, I didn't add the kids. They talk about the kids. Ladies and gentlemen, I teach in Pawnee, I teach in Cleveland, I've taught in Woodland, I've even went to Stillwater, Payne County, and taught kids for several weeks right before school was out, 4 weeks, 5 weeks. That's all I did. 2-3 days a week. was talk to kids, and we talked to them about DUI, texting and driving, the little kids. We talked to them about bullying, stranger danger, social media, so forth. So, you know, I would love to have other deputies help me do that, but when I do that, that does pull them out of the field.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you all coming here tonight and the spirited input of all of your issues. And I want to thank each of the three candidates and I wish them all success.
Tom, don't turn this off.